Hello, Neil from ratinghorses.com. Hope you're well. Today is Friday the 5th of February and time is 2:50 p.m. 1400 hours 50 minutes. Hope you're well. Well, I've got about half an hour spare, so I thought I'd pop online, record a short video for you. And as per normal on the Rating Horses YouTube channel, I will be scrolling through a race on a card from this evening, and hopefully we can find some value along the way, and you can follow me on my own personal selection process. So without further ado, let's scroll down to see what races we've got this evening. Catering is an afternoon card, as is obviously Chepstow this time of year, being jumps. Dundalk in Ireland, not really my cup of tea. Nothing against Irish racing, I just prefer to concentrate on racing in the UK. All-weather card at Lingfield this afternoon, and we've got Newcastle on the all-weather this evening. So for me, I like to look at handicap races. I like to look at races that are a decent grade, preferably a class 3 or 4. So let's just see the class 4 there, but just 6 runners. Class 6, novice stakes. Class 4 handicap with 10 runners, novice, and a class 5. So my preference here will be for the 6:15 at Newcastle. Handicap race, 8 or more runners, class 4. So let's go through the data and let's see if we can narrow down this field and maybe find a little bit of value. So 6:15 at Newcastle. The first thing that I notice is the ratings here on the left hand side. Apart from the bottom horse, Glenifer, that has a very poor rating of 1. All the others, there's not an awful lot between them. 18 obviously to the top and 12 for Stormover and Ice Age. So that looks as though this race could be competitive, which hopefully falls into our lap, that we're going to find some each way value or some sort of value at the end of the selection process. If we look at the R2, we can see that all the scores are 6, 7 or 8. I will say straight away, I'm going to dismiss Glenifer, the bottom rated horse, immediately. The R1 again scores a little bit more of a difference in these. A couple with 10s, Daniel's Flyer, Alpha Boy and Kind Review, and then a couple of 9s and 8s, and then we've got Stormover at 6 and Ice Age at 5. But overall, not an awful lot between those top 8 or 9 runners. Now the yellow boxes here, we can see that there's a slight draw bias for horses drawn middle to high. So that is something that we must bear in mind. If we're looking at the form, we could see there's a few horses that have won. Kind Rival won 5 runs ago, and good grief, here we go. We've got another horse here, haven't we? Gathanfar, I think maybe it's close. Gathanfar won lost time out the time before, so 2 runs ago. If we go over to the course and distance information, we see that 3 horses have won over course and distance in the past. That's Gathanfar, Alpha Blair Boy, I'll get the words out in the right order in a minute, and Kind Review. All 3 have won over course and distance. If we look at the OF algorithm, we can see that Chucky Dundin has a top rank score of 12, then Kind Review at 8, and Giorgio Bo is third ranked, but the OF scores are all pretty low. And what is interesting that two of the three top rated horses actually have a negative OF rating: Daniel's Flyer and Gotham Far. If we look at the other key stats, the speed, the power rating, we can see that the actual top two horses of our three are not particularly have good key stats here. Although Daniel's Flyer has a top power rating of 42, Mythmaker 40, and joint third is Gotham Far and Alpha Blair Boy with 37. But there's not an awful lot again in the top 5 or 6 in the rating, so that mirrors the actual ratings this side. Again, I mentioned that there's not an awful lot, amongst these ratings, so don't let your heart and your head look for the horses at the top, because there's not an awful lot between these, and that mirrors on the power rating. So let's try and build a bit of picture up. We can see the Kind Review is one of the 3 course and distance winners in the field, second on the algorithm, top speed, but power rating of 7th. If we look at Alpha Blair Boy, another course and distance winner, 4th on the OF, but not an awful lot again in this column. 4th on the speed and 3rd power rating. Anything else key? Chucky Jundun, top on the OF, top speed, but 8th on the power rating. So there's not a clear picture as we speak. Obviously we need to try and build up a bit of a picture, but of course, listen, there may well be times when you just, no matter how much you look at the data, there's just nothing that really stands out to you, unless you can find some each way value and maybe have a little bit of an each way tipple. Sometimes it's just best to leave the race alone. But let's scroll across to the official ratings. Daniel's Flyer has dropped down the handicap from 85 down to 78, so that's £7 in the last 6 runs. But we must note that it came second last time out off a mark of 78, which is the same mark today. Gotham Far 63 is up £9 from 6 runs ago. Has been fairly consistent if you look at his last 3 runs, 3rd, 1st and 2nd, and that has bumped him up in the weights. 69 last time out, he's put up another £3, 72. Key fact there is that Gotham Far has never won off a mark of higher than 66. Alpha Blair Boy 83 6 runs ago is now down to 73, so that's £10 less. 4th last time out off a mark of 75, and it's been dropped down another £2. £3 taken off the back today, with Faye McManaman taking another £3 off. But we must remember that Alpha Blair Boy is one of the 3 course and distance winners in the field. Mythmaker has dropped £8 in the last 6 runs, off a mark of 77 last time, so it has been put up £1 each time it's come second the last twice. But Mythmaker has won off a career higher mark of 91, which is £13 lower than today's mark. Kind Review has been put up £3 in the last 6 runs, 75. Chucky Jundai 74, up £6. In fact, 80 the last couple of runs, and he's finished 3rd and 2nd. It's off 80 again today. Joe Fanning, obviously a very competent jockey on board today. Let's just quickly scroll through. This horse here has got the top rank and top speed. Fortunately, it's got a poor power rating horse. but this horse is in some sort of form. So I'm going to make a note of this horse, Chucky Jundin. Please accept my apologies if that is not the way to pronounce that horse. Storm Over is £8 lower than 6 runs ago, but has not got close to winning off similar marks, 74, 74, so 73 today. So before I look at the trainer and jockey stats for the last 14 days, I'm going to build up a bit of picture. We've got Chucky Jundin as a possible. Kind review, it's not run for 63 days. Mythmaker 86, £8 lower, but has got a poor draw. Athol Blair Boy, £10 lower, but has won off a mark of 82. So off 75 last time out, finishing fourth. £10 lower again today, another £3 off his back. So I'm going to make a note of that one as well, because we do know that is a course and distance winner. Looking at the top two, Gatham Far is £9 up. Obviously in some sort of decent form. He's a course and distance winner, but that is key there for me, in the fact that he's now £6 higher than it's ever won off. So I will make a note of this, but that is probably my least favourite out of the three so far. And finally, Daniel's Flyer, 85, £7 lower than 6 runs ago, off the same mark as last time out where it finished second. But these marks are not great, so although it's top power rated horse, I'm going to leave this one alone. I am going to make a note of the power rated. Chucky Jundin is 8th, Athol Blair is 3rd, Gatham Far is also joint 3rd. Course and distance winner on that one. Okay, so I'm going to scroll across now to the jockey and trainer 14-day stats. Chucky Jundin, Keith Douglas, no winners in the last 9 runs in the last 14 days, but we can see these figures here that 50% of his horses are considered to have run to form or better. So although he hasn't had any winners, he's in okay form. Just going to put a little cross against that one. Alpha Blair Boy, Nigel Tinkler, no wins again in the last, just 5 runners in the last 14 days, but 80% of his runners are considered to have run to form or better. And Gatham Far, again, trainer, no winners, just the 4 runners in the last 14 days. Tracy Waggett, 50% of runners have apparently run to form or better. So for me, and this is a very, very tricky race, I must say, and of course you must always remember, you don't have to have a bet, there's plenty of other races, but for me, I have narrowed it down to 2 horses, and those are Gatham Far and Athol Blair Boy, both are course and distance winners. Athol Blair Boy has a poor draw. Gatham Far is considered to have a good draw. Just bear with me, I'm scrolling through the key stats again. Athol Blair Boy. Let's just have a look at the Athol Blair Boy, £10. Gatham Far's. For different reasons, I quite like the look of both these horses. I think they've both got good chances for different reasons. What I'm now going to do is concentrate on this column here, the odds column for forecast and our odds. Now, remember the forecast odds are the odds of what the horse was when the ratings were collated. So this would have been on a Thursday evening around 7:30, 8 p.m. So we can see that Gatham Far was priced up at 5 to 1 at that time, and Athol Blair Boy was priced up at 6 to 1. Our odds on these horses suggest that to offer value, Gatham Far should have been around 6 to 1, 13 to 2, so not a million miles away. Athol Blair Boy, again, considered to have been at the same price, around 6 to 1, 13 to 2. We would consider this to be value. And again, this horse was available at 6 to 1. Sorry, Gatham Far was obviously 5 to 1. Yeah, that's right. I did say that, didn't I? Yeah. So not an awful lot. And people who will know me, that when I look at a race, the odds columns are the last point of call for me before I actually look at odds checker. I haven't a clue what prices these horses are. And if a horse is not offering value, for example, if let's just have a look. There's nothing that really stands out except for this Geo Obo. Our odds suggest this horse to offer value should be around 9 to 1. But when the odds were collated at 7 or 8 o'clock on Thursday evening, this horse was forecast at 25 to 1. So that obviously means that if we did like the look of that one, this horse would be offering big value. On the other side of the coin, Storm Over, when the odds were collated, this horse was forecast at 10 to 1. It's the same scenario. At 12 to 1. And our odds suggest that this horse to offer value would need to be around 9 to 1 or bigger. So again, that would be offering value to 2 or 3 points edge on the bookmaker according to our software. But we're concentrating on these two horses, not an awful lot. So let's see if there's been any money for these two and what sort of prices we can actually get now. So the 6.15 at Newcastle. So let's scroll down. 6.15 at Newcastle. I just quickly want to make a note of what our odds suggested at the time. So that was Gatham Far 6 to 1 and Athol Blair Boy again about 6 to 1. So yeah, there wasn't an awful lot in it, was there? Okay, so got one of those annoying pop-ups, and let's scroll down. Well, we can see that there's actually a non-runner in this race, but it's one that we haven't considered. So let's have a look. Okay, right. So Gatham Far. When the odds were collated on Thursday evening, the odds for this horse were 5 to 1. To offer value, our odds suggest that this horse needs to be around 6 to 1. We can see that there's been money for this horse throughout the day, and it is now best price at 5 to 2. So way below what we would consider to be value. Athol Blair Boy. Our odds suggest this horse should be around 6 to 1 to be considered as a value bet, and when the ratings were collated, Athol Blair Boy was available at 6 to 1 on Thursday evening. We can see that price is pretty much held. It's currently 6 to 1, 13 to 2. So for the simple fact that this horse is far too short now, I'm not saying that this is a very good sign that there's been money for this horse, and it's basically halved in price since Thursday evening. Obviously it is well fancied and there's been a lot of money for it, but the only way to win long-term betting on horses is to get that edge, look for value, And although this horse may well go on to win, there is no value in this horse. So I will be having a small each way bet on Athol Blair Boy at 13 to 2. For us, it comes up on a number of key criteria. The price is held firm, and it's the same price virtually as it was last night when the ratings were collated. It's offering what we consider to be a little bit of value. It's fifth of the odds, so if it runs into the frame, we will make a small profit, but obviously the hope is that it goes a little bit further. Yeah, although there's a couple of horses there that have been backed, obviously Gathenvar was one of our two that we'd narrowed the field down to, but it's not offering any value at all. May well go on and win easily, but for me, the key, each way value, get the edge on the bookmaker, the only way to win long term. So a small each way bet on Athol Blair Boy in the, what race did I say? My memory is so bad. 6:15 at Newcastle. Hope you've enjoyed that short video. Whatever you are betting on, if you are betting this race or any race, obviously this evening, do your research, try and build up a bit of a picture, and remember the last point of call: make sure it's value and you feel as though you've got an edge on the bookmaker. All the best, and I will speak to you soon. Thank you for watching and listening. Take care.